Okay. Show me.
Alright, fellas, I'm ready to fight.
Oh my gosh!
That's not me! That's not Cockroach Tony Montana!
We want the black people on the motherfucking wall of fame now!
Is that what you want?
I want you to be a hockey player!
Alright, I'm not a fucking athlete. This is my fucking way. This is how I win.
You go in pieces, asshole.
The Where We Gems Movie Podcast, your home for the most underrated and underappreciated films.
Hello and welcome to a new and exciting adventure that we call There Will Be Gems Movie Podcast. We review underrated, hidden, and amazing overshadowed movies. Today I have with me the man, the myth, the legend, who cannot write to save his own fucking life, Ryan.
Hello.
I have the man who's heard probably 1,000 ginger jokes from myself, Tom.
That's very true.
And I have the man who can't spend an extra $2.30 to get better toilet paper, Tyler.
Those are soft.
Not when you poke a finger through and hit your butthole.
Oof.
How we all doing tonight?
That has never
Better than
happened
that.
to me.
Well, you don't wipe as aggressive as I
that's
do.
peachy.
I'm an aggressive wiper, Tyler. I like to get in and get out. Unless I'm at work. Then I'll take my time at work. Yeah, I savor my bathroom time at work.
The phone keeps ringing when I'm in the bathroom. I kinda... People still
the bathroom with you.
Every time I get out of the bathroom, they're just like, Tyler, you gotta call this guy back.
I'm like, no.
Like, damn it! No!
I'm not going to do it. I refuse to do it.
No, I refuse to do the do.
The worst part is like I'm all alone in the morning when I come in, and I wish I could just like take a shit in the morning by myself. But the problem is like I'm by myself, so if anybody shows up for the phone rings, there's nobody there except me.
Yeah.
So
it's a problem.
So I gotta wait for someone else to come in and be like, okay, I'm gonna go take a dump now.
Alright, it's poop time.
Poopy time.
Pizza time.
Try to get a dump before my boss shows up.
That's fair, yeah. So how was everyone's week? Do anything fun? Anything interesting happen?
Work sucks because it's really cold outside and we're really understaffed.
I know.
Yeah.
She left me roses by the stairs.
Surprising.
That same thing.
Say it ain't so. Ryan, what about you? How's your week?
You know, it's been going.
Been going?
Selling phones, smoking crack.
Yeah, good stuff. Tom?
Pretty good.
Nice.
Doing stuff.
Stuff is always good.
Yeah.
I've just been playing a lot of guitar. That's my thing.
With your pud.
My pud.
Doing stuffing things.
Just stuff.
So much stuff.
How many things?
More things.
More stuff than a double stuff Oreo.
Sounds like my ex. Anyways, so this week's topic is everyone's favorite G-rated movie. So who wants to start it off?
Iron Giant.
What?
Is that G? Is that G?
I don't know any G movies. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yes, you do.
From like the age, what do you mean? From like the age of 6, I was watching Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Like any childhood movie's been stolen from me.
Wait until your parent.
Iron Giant is PG.
I thought about that, but I didn't know what. I figured it was rated PG.
I just went down my IMDb list and I looked for, and I just like for my rated movies, and then just ran it into like what my highest rated ones were.
That is a spectacular movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's really good, even though it has Vin Diesel in it.
Tuesday.
It's so random.
Oh God.
Well, it does kind of sound like a robot.
The mom, Jennifer Anderson.
Looks like a robot.
Mom, Jennifer Aniston.
He might be.
It is Jennifer Aniston, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And who was the
Christopher McDonald's in it? He's like the general.
Yeah, that's actually pretty stacked. That
Where's
the giant, Mansley?
Cloris Leachman, Mary Kay Bergman, who was the original voice of Cartman's mom. I'm pretty sure she died.
She did, yes.
Oops. Yeah.
Tom, what about you?
So I also couldn't think of a lot of G-rated movies, so I thought back to like Disney movies that I saw as a kid, and one that I really, really liked was The Fox and the Hound.
Excellent. That is also one of my favorite movies, actually, Disney related. My pick is actually going to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie because I could not think of a G-rated movie either that wasn't allowed.
Sure, that's PG.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that movie's rated G.
That's a harder PG than Iron Giant, also.
Yeah,
but it's awesome and it's got all the best people in it.
Honestly, I'm surprised that movie's not PG-13. There's like real violence in that movie.
I'm pretty sure that was made before PG-13 existed.
No, I think it was right around the time. It was like 1990, I think. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, well, I'm talking more of the second one because the second one was more lighter. Because the first one was so quote unquote violent that they actually toned it down a little bit.
I do remember that too.
Which is less violence, more pizza time.
Exactly. Yeah. The Secret of the Ooze is probably like hands down one of the best Turtles films like to date. Those new ones with Michael Bay are just awful.
Michael Bay.
Who gets Johnny Knoxville to voice a fucking turtle?
What do you mean? What's wrong with that?
Everything.
With Mr.
You got
Knockers.
Steve-O.
Yeah, can you imagine Steve-O as Michael Lynch? Yeah, dude, what's up? Yeah, dude. I'm a turtle. Yeah, exactly. Like Bam Margera's Donatello. Like you can't ever think he's smart.
Just get the cast of Jackass to be the
that guy can't even. Dan Margera can't even form a legible sentence anymore.
Yeah, he sounds like he's a mixture between his dad and his Uncle Vito.
Yeah,
Uncle Vito the rapist.
Probably.
If they're all recovering from years of destroying their brain from drugs.
Well, that's what you get when you make fun of your parents, kids.
There's this thing with what's his name, Dr. Phil, with him on it. Oh my god!
I love that. It's
like terrifying.
It is. It really is.
It's like all cross-eyed. He's like, "Oh, I need help though, man."
He's like, "Man, I could really go for another smoke." Where's Steve-O? Where's Ryan Dunn?
Oops.
Oh, too soon.
Yikes.
He's racing with Paul Walker.
In heaven.
I almost spit out my drink.
He's simply tree paint now.
Oh my god!
I don't think he made it to the trees.
Tomato soup.
Yeah,
2 scoops.
Honestly, he's probably more like when you leave the roast in the oven too long.
Oh my god! That visual. All right.
I just want to point out this is a discussion within a discussion about G-rated movies.
It is, and that's why it's even better.
Yeah, it took a turn.
It did. It took a turn.
Tyler, what's your G-rated?
All right, well, I actually picked a G-rated movie.
Oh well,
I did too. It's actually but we're 50-50 on that. But anyways, my G-rated movie actually came out last year.
Dad. Oh, it's not Ghost.
Came out last year, and it's
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4.
And they called it.
Toy Story 4 is dope.
G-rated.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I honestly think it's the best Toy Story. Maybe not for kids, but I think as someone who catches Toy Story in the exact age I am, where you were a real young kid, young enough to remember it growing up, seeing it in theaters and seeing all those movies. I think it's seeing this the way this the complete story arcs over the course of over 20 years. It's really more. It's really more for the adults, and I think it's the adults are gonna understand more than children actually will. So for me, that's why that gets the #1 spot.
I do like kids movies like that.
You know what
I loved Toy Story when I was a kid.
Me too.
Yeah. What did the dad do? Because that unicorn in that movie wanted him dead.
The fuck are you talking about?
You don't remember that? It was either a horse or the unicorn or something. The entire time was trying to get the dad framed for murder.
In what?
In Toy Story 4.
Oh, I've never seen Toy Story 4.
About?
Yeah, me neither.
You don't remember that?
No. What? You don't remember
one of the stuffies that they meet up with the entire time trying to get the dad thrown in jail?
I don't remember that. Yeah,
I found him hilarious.
I remember that for some reason.
The dad, they crash into someone, and he's just he did it to the dad.
There were all this stuff with like Keanu Reeves as like the fucking like driver, as like the little toy driver was fucking hilarious.
I'll have to watch it.
It's
I feel weird watching kids movies now without children around me.
That movie I really like recommend. Honestly, that movie's close to a 10 for me. That movie's really good.
I'll have to watch it. I've seen 3, so
yeah. I think 3's the worst. I think 3 might be the worst one.
I did not like 3 at all.
3 is my least favorite for sure.
Yeah. 2 is my favorite so far until I watched 4.
2 is my favorite growing up because I remember like seeing it in the theaters with like a huge like everybody, like, even my extended family, and I remember like that being like a really like, cool experience.
Wow, must be nice to have family.
Yeah.
What happened in 3?
It's not too bad. 3, I watched on my laptop when I was like an adult, so I really don't remember.
3 was
I barely remember that.
3's the one with the bear and stuff.
Yeah, 3 is the one.
Wait,
that's the one where Andy grows up.
Yeah, it's the one that Andy grows up and they end up like at a daycare.
Oh, okay.
Trash compactor at the end or something.
Yeah. I was getting the bear and like the prospector combined into one thing.
It was basically the same character. That's why 3 wasn't great.
That's the thing.
But like the thing is, like the prospector had an insane heel turn that like you did not see coming as a child, and I remember like
I would say 2 is probably my favorite.
Yeah, 2's pretty good. Oops, all
he's out of the box.
Out of the box. All right. So, anyways, let's move it right along to the future of tonight. Little Nemo.
Right on time for your schooling, Nemo.
Schooling? But I hate school.
Ah, to be a prince, you must be taught to behave like one. Come along.
But what about Icarus?
He'll have more fun with me. Good luck.
But...
Oh, you got to get some etiquette if you want to be a prince. So we're here to meet you and to teach you lots of handy hits. How to sit and stand, how to look real grand with a proper attitude. Oh, you got to get some etiquette, cause a prince is never rude.
Oh, we are the Poops. Good goblin Poops. We are escapees from Nightmare Land. Our nightmarish king doesn't...
Initial thought.
Movie. It's a kids movie.
Kids movie, yeah.
This is a movie that I was trying to remember for like 10 or 15 years, and there was one scene that I remembered, and you just like picked the movie for this week.
You're welcome.
It just happens to be like this crazy.
I am the nostalgia king.
Yeah, apparently.
I am. That's my job. I'm sticking to it. I'm quitting T-Mobile and just being a nostalgia king.
Doesn't pay well.
It does not. So I do have some trivia and stuff for this movie. I'm gonna pepper it in. It's actually based off a comic strip that was actually started in 1905 and actually ended in 1927. It was alternately called the Land of Wonderful Dreams. It would like midway through they changed the name for whatever, and then change it back. There's actually a pretty fair amount of media for this. There's also an NES tie-in video game because originally this movie came out in Japan first in 1989. So they would do tie-in games at the same time. So the game and the movie came out at the same time. But the game also released in America the same year too. But we didn't get this movie for another 3 years because it came out in 92. When we got the Americanized version. So a lot of people playing this game at the time were like, what the hell is this? They have no idea what it is. And then the movie comes out, and by that time, Super Nintendo's out, and they already forgot about this stuff. But besides the point, it was also done by Capcom, too, which is one of the best video game producers, just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mega Man. So, yeah, this stuff, this actual property has like a lot of background to it since it's pretty old. It's over 100 years old now, actually, which is pretty fucking crazy. It's weird to me that the Japanese actually took interest in it and actually wanted to make it. It was actually in production for almost 7 years just because they wanted to release in America So when the American director and the Japanese director were talking about how to do it, they had a lot of like butting heads. So it took very long for this to actually get out, first in Japan and then next in America, just because of they wanted to do certain things in certain parts. Like also one of the characters in the movie smokes. They didn't want that in America version and the American version, but the Japanese are like, no, we're gonna leave that in because that's how we want it.
Yeah.
So there was like a whole bunch of stuff with the within the production of the movie that I find actually pretty fascinating.
Yeah. I did a little research on this too. Like after watching, I was like kind of like surprised to see that I had like a rich history.
Yeah.
And I fucking died when I like clicked the play button and the little warning for what's in the movie came up and it's a drug use. I just started fucking laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
Because the cigar.
Because of the cigar.
I kept seeing the drug use thing, and I was like, when? When are there drugs?
Yeah, it's a cigar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a cigar,
funny.
yeah.
Rated
That's funny.
Like rated G, and it was like something like action or something. Drug use.
They get a little bit too rowdy.
Shit gets crazy.
That actually makes sense, though. That like if you look at this movie, it really makes sense that like they made this in Japan, then butted heads how to like finish it in America.
Yeah.
You can really see that. Like now that's pointed out.
Yeah. Because like over there, like everything's like a lot more like
sexualized.
Well, you can just see like the imagery in this movie. It's very like closer. I noticed like a lot of like some of the parade sequences and some of the scenic points. It's more like anime than it is like what you typically would have seen from American animated films from smaller studios at this point.
Right.
Yeah. So fun fact, Hayao Miyazaki actually was one of the people that worked on it.
Big surprise
in the beginning, but he ended up leaving it. And he also called it one of the worst experiences of his career working on this movie because Chris Columbus and Gary Kurtz were just continuously butting heads and stuff with the people overseas. So I think this it's a kids movie, but the story behind the movie itself too is also pretty interesting to me. Just because there's it took 7 years for it to come out, and that's very unheard of when it comes to an animated movie. You know what I mean? But so some of the artist's actual other work is featured in the movie as well. Winsor McKay, the dinosaur that's in part of the movie is in the bandstand cover on the band stuff or whatever. And Nemo's mom actually asked him if he's been sneaking pies again, which is a reference to the predecessor of this comic strip called Dreams from Rarebit Fiend. The King Morpheus is also shares his name with Morpheus, the Greek god of dreams. That's another cool little fun fact about him. Obviously, Flip is voiced by Mickey Rooney. He's the only famous actor in this movie. I mean, I guess you could consider Renee Babadoop, whatever his last name is, I can't ever say it, to also be kind of a famous actor because he was in Star Trek so I mean,
cool.
Pretty.
He's not even known for it.
I've seen him in a bunch of movies.
Yeah, and he's also in, like, It's Always Sunny and stuff like that, and he's actually a pretty predominant voice actor as well.
He was in MASH.
There was also a character from the original comic strip that could not be in the movie due to racial caricature, because he's racist looking.
Was it Asian?
No, it was, the character was called the Imp, and he kind of had black face.
Classic Japan.
Yeah.
Just imagine having balls though to be like a Miyazaki. Fuck you. We're gonna do it our way, and being Christopher Columbus.
Yeah. What else has he done? I can't. That
Harry
name's
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Oh no shit. Okay, that makes sense. And Ren.
He's a pretty reasonable director. Like he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like
he's a producer. Yeah, he's producing Gremlins 3. He produced Scoob. He produced The Lighthouse, Five Nights at Freddy's, which apparently is a thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy, that's right.
I think they missed the boat on that one.
Oh yeah.
No, they'll keep doing it.
He made Home Alone.
Maybe
directed Home Alone.
Maybe they'll cast Markiplier.
He also produced my favorite Christmas movie, Christmas
You
with the
should.
Cranks, and Fantastic Four. And both Fantastic Four movies, actually, too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not Josh
Four.
Trank. Fantastic.
Not
Four.
Josh Trank, no.
Okay.
Not
in
Josh.
1989, I don't think he really had like the strong legs to stand down to be like, we're gonna do it our way. His
At that point,
Yamazaki.
and Goonies.
Oh, yeah. No, he wrote the video game for Goonies. That's
You
interesting.
said he
yeah.
wrote Goonies and
Goonies
Gremlins.
too,
I think
yeah.
at that point he had
Yeah.
He had some cred. Never mind. Yeah, to write the screenplay. Yeah, he had the cred for this. He had the cred to make a kids movie.
He wrote a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had this cred. Okay.
All right.
Christopher Columbus.
I see you. So yeah, this movie does have quite a backstory to it. So let's go into it. Who wants to start?
Well, Ray Bradbury is attached to it too.
Ethan Bradbury?
The guy, Ray Bradbury,
Oh.
the guy that wrote Fahrenheit 451.
That's right. Yes, one of
Yeah,
the
they
other
had, like-
Bradburys.
They went through like 5 directors before they ended up on William Hurt's.
Yeah,
And Ray Bradbury was one of them.
That's cool.
all the directors. It sounds like Ant-Man. So yeah, who wants to start it off?
Well, the animation's pretty cool. I like the animation. I think it makes sense. It's the Japanese thing, like you said, where they kind of like built the base for it and Americans filled it in.
Yeah, you can definitely tell some
it's-
of the like anime inspiration to it.
You can tell a lot by the artwork.
You know what? I watched the long cut because I'm here on IMDb and it's 85 minutes long. If you watched it on Amazon Prime, we watched the Japanese cut of it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah,
That's the one I watched.
Yeah, that's the one I watched too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say that like that makes it better indefinitely, but I do think this movie could have taken like 10 minutes off of it.
Yeah, the beginning of the movie kind of does drag a little bit. Yeah, because you're kind of like getting into it, and
Get the fucking Dreamland.
Did you see the title sequences?
yeah, of course I
It's
did.
it's very Japanese.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But like no, like I mean the literal title sequences. It's just like text and like a blue background.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
music.
that's super Japanese.
That's super Japanese. Yeah,
It's like if you like any Studio Ghibli film, especially like the early ones, are all like that.
yeah.
Oh well, I laughed at that. I'm like, you couldn't have just like put some pictures on.
Nope.
We're watching a movie about going to a dream world, and these are the title screens.
No, that's like classic like 1980s like Japanese credits. Like they're just like, there you go, background names. Fuck you. But yeah, this like the beginning of this movie reminds me a lot of like Wizard of Oz in a sense. You know, like you have the child and the animal character, and they're going into like the Jed, and they go into like a alternate reality almost. That's what like I'm a huge. I've been listening to the books, I should say, of Wizard of Oz, and boy, does the books. They're so much better than the goddamn movie that we got 80 years ago. Was that a lot?
Books usually do that. I can think of maybe like I haven't read a ton of books, but in my adult life, I've probably read about 50 books like in the last like 5 years.
Yeah,
and like maybe like I had that year where I banged out all those Stephen King books. Remember that year I read like I legit read like over like 18 months. I read like 35 Stephen King books. But very rarely do I find that the book is better than the movie. Maybe in that like 3 times, like that's happened. I can think about. And a couple of and like one of the times the movie wasn't good either.
Like Shawshank.
Well, I'm actually talking about Dreamcatcher on that one. The movie's better than the book, but the movie's not good.
Well, I was just saying a movie that's better than the book.
I really I like Dreamcatcher a lot.
Movies that those translate better because Shawshank's a short story. It's only like 100 pages.
I know.
So you get to like basically they get to flesh out Shawshank instead of like trying to like condense down a 500-page book.
Yeah.
And when they beat Stephen King back with the sticks, like, no, you can't have any input in the movie.
No, get back.
Get back there, Stephen.
We saw that Shining TV remake.
We saw what you meant with The Shining. Never again.
We saw Maximum Overdrive.
Oh my
keeping it
God.
in the sandbox.
Emilio.
Yeah. I think Carrie's better than the book too.
I will have to say that if they followed Wizard of Oz to the book, that movie would not have been able to be shown back in like 1940, whenever.
1936, I believe.
Was it? Okay.
39.
Boy, is some of that shit fucking graphic as hell. And they say queer a lot. Like, they say queer a lot.
People.
Well, yeah. Like, so, not like, oh god, like, does anyone know the actual story of how the Tin Man became the Tin Man?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So the Tin Man gets cursed by a witch to cut off a limb each time he swings his axe. So every time he swings his axe, he misses the log and cuts off a limb. So then he goes to a armor or blacksmith or something like that and gets a limb reattached via tin each time.
I thought you meant like the actor in real life, like he became the Tin Man.
Yeah, he got cursed by a witch.
He got cursed by a witch.
The first one died.
I thought you were gonna say,
he died.
Say he like killed himself in his car or something. Like,
no, we can't all be that lucky.
Can't be all that brave.
Can't all get cursed by witches.
Yeah, so basically he cuts off every part of his body until he's just a Tin Man with no heart.
yikes.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal, actually, the way they describe it. I'm like, holy shit. I want that movie. So Warner Brothers, you're not listening. Or is it Metro? Who owns the rights to Wizard of Oz? I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
MGM.
MGM. Yeah. If you're smart, you will make a accurate Wizard of Oz movie.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I know, but I would love that so much.
Where'd his heart go?
In the toilet.
Really?
He eated it.
I believe, if I remember correctly, the woman that he is in love with actually has the heart.
Okay.
Which also
makes sense.
Yeah, epic. But he ends up rusting in the woods because he's crying because she leaves him or something like that. I can't remember what happened. It's been a while.
For a hotter, younger heart.
A hot tinner man.
Yeah.
That man just wasn't metal enough for her.
Yeah.
I want a man made of bronze.
Yeah.
No, I hate tin.
Nobody likes tin. Not even tin.
Oh, I won the tin medal in the Olympics.
What is it going to be? Tin the Tool Man Taylor? So back to the movie.
So Little Nemo.
Yeah, Little Nemo. We're on a little Wizard of Oz tangent.
Like Danny DeVito's cameo.
Yeah. So
I was expecting his voice to come out.
I know, me too, and I knew it wasn't him.
I know.
So let's talk about the characters. Let's go into Nemo. Nemo is a little boy who we follow the entire story. Who goes to Slumberland and ends up becoming a prince.
Yeah. Let's slow it down.
Yeah.
There's a few steps in between that, but only a few.
Literally only a few.
Yeah.
That's like the first 30 minutes.
Flying away in his bed one night.
He's given a magic lamppost.
For anyone
Nemo needs a therapist.
Yeah, something's going on.
I mean, if you've ever been on acid, your bed is probably flown too.
I have not experienced that.
Oh,
yeah, me neither.
Just
me. Neither.
me.
So basically, it starts off in a dream because they need to show us that Nemo
It was just a dream.
has the ability to dream.
Yeah, like most people.
Nemo can dream.
Yeah.
Nemo is gonna dream, and it's gonna be a theme in this movie.
Nemo or Dreamo?
Oh.
Huh?
I was very upset that the time watching this, I didn't see a Freddy Krueger cameo at all. I just wanted him to come up and call him a bitch real quick and then go out.
Well,
didn't happen. Missed opportunity.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Nemo's kind of bland for someone who's supposed to be this dream kid. This kid's bland as fuck.
Well, he's white. What do you expect?
White people have culture.
Where's the seasoning? I mean, you're not taking other people's culture.
Tyler, this is the 1980s. White people were not cultured yet.
Hey, man, we had punk rock.
Did we, though?
We did.
Or did the UK have punk rock and we just kind of
no, we bastardized it.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. We do.
We'll just dump tea on them, whatever.
We'll just dump tea on them. Fuck you, Brits.
Tea away again.
Again.
I actually liked Nemo. I like Nemo's arc in this, considering like he just kind of goes to Slumberland for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, go to Slumberland.
It's just like he doesn't. They didn't really give him much of a starting point. He just kind of shows up there. But I kind of like his arc in it overall.
Yeah.
I just think Nemo, the character himself, is bland as fuck.
Like, yeah. What about his pajamas, dude?
Dude, he's got some
pajamas.
Bland as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're white, just plain white.
Plain white pajamas.
He just like kind of like he's a dream world, and he's kind of just like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'll follow you.
Yeah,
I promise not to do that.
Well, that's like any kid though, because like you're gonna be curious and you're gonna be like, well, I guess I'll explore this place.
Yeah.
Anyone would.
The true lesson is never follow Danny DeVito's lessons.
All right, let's move on to the rest of the characters. Who wants to bring up the next character?
I mean, we don't really have any characters yet, other than like him and Icarus.
Let's talk about Icarus.
Yeah, what about Icarus?
Icarus is the best part of this movie,
hands down.
Yeah,
I like the butler.
The butler.
You mean the professor?
You mean Professor Genius?
I'm
sorry. Butler. Jesus. The dude has a fucking PhD.
His name is Professor Genius.
He's pretty much a butler.
The genius.
He's got a fucking mustache.
He's the assistant to the king.
Did you see his mustache?
Yeah, it was fly.
Did you see his top hat, Ryan?
Also fly.
He is holding all that knowledge in that motherfucking top hat.
Yeah, you learn a lot.
He's got a big nose or big.
Oh, whoa!
You just have the sirens that played during World War II during airstrikes.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Oh my god!
Call this a podcast?
Yeah. Hugs and kisses, latkes and knishes. Anyways, back to Icarus.
I just like it's a pretty Japanese thing that there's just like this fucking like squirrel that flies and has aviator goggles on. And
I love it.
I love
just
it
nobody
too.
questioned. No, I thought the whole thing was like that whole parade at the beginning where he very clearly like sees stuff and then dreams about it later. I thought we were still in a dream the whole time because he's got this because of Icarus.
Yeah,
maybe.
I thought we were. I didn't realize like this was real life because there's just like this like. This squirrel like flying around. I was like, okay, I guess this is a dream too.
Or maybe it's all his dream.
Or maybe Nemo is a witch and Icarus is his familiar.
That could be also true. Yeah, yeah. I'll buy it.
How's that for bland?
Yeah.
How? What do you mean? Being a witch would not be bland.
No, I said how's that for? I said how's that for bland? Like that. Like he showed me he's a fucking witch with a.
There's your Cajun seasoning.
But yeah, I love that trope of just like the squirrel with the aviator goggles.
He's the best part of the movie. Icarus fucks.
Yeah,
Icarus does in fact.
That guy
fuck. That squirrel fucks.
Yeah.
All right. So who is like the
Don't
next?
call him a rat.
They see this parade that's like very anime-esque, and like that imagery is honestly dope. I think this is like the best imagery in the movie.
Yeah, going back to the animation, like for a movie made in 1989, well, actually before that, this is some pretty fucking crisp animation, if I do say so.
Yeah, they left it to the Japs.
Well, yeah,
so clean. Like there's not a lot of shaking at all, which is super impressive because they do a lot of big animations, like a lot of like shape shifting and everything.
And it's
crazy
clean.
It's so clean.
Like when I watched this last night and today, like I was like watching it, I was like, there's no way it was like always like this crisp looking. Like it
might have gotten restored realistically.
Yeah, realistically, yeah. But like I'm just like even so, like you can only restore so much, you know what I mean?
Right. Like the whole nightmare thing, like that is really impressive how they did that.
Yeah. Like when I've gone back and watched like The Last Unicorn, like that movie still looks a little grainy, but like and that came out.
Yeah. I watched The Last Unicorn over the summer. And it's not that like impressive.
Yeah, and like that came out what, 85?
No, I was like earlier than that.
Was
like
it
81 or something?
Okay.
Yeah.
In like to be like that far, like that movie. This movie almost looks like you can almost say this movie came out in 2000. Like it looks that crisp.
I would say knowing now that not knowing now, but like it being like Asian, I'm honestly surprised it wasn't better. Like it was really good. It was honestly still really good.
Yeah, because
like,
the Americans watered it down.
Yeah.
You had shit like My Neighbor Totoro was already out at that point, and that movie is also crispy.
Yeah, that's also true too. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just meant overall. It was like, yeah, like the animation shit is real good because the Japanese people did it, then the fucking Americans got it. Like, let's fucking fuck it up.
Well, they still got that cigar in, so
let's water it down for children. And Mazaki's like, I will not be a part of this.
Yeah, he's like, fuck that. And then, but it's probably good that he did say fuck that, because then he went on to do those other movies that are so good. Like, he probably,
he showed them.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna make a movie about a fat rabbit thing.
Yeah, he already made that at that point.
Did he? I don't know.
It's 88.
Yeah. Oh.
I made Big Chungus the movie.
Big Chungus the movie. I'd watch that.
You did. It's Totoro.
I made Spirited Away.
Fun fact, I've never seen any of those movies.
That movie, both those movies are G. I was like, why don't you guys pick one of those for your G-grade movie? Those are both G.
I've never seen any of them. I've never seen
it. Does not seem like it should be G.
How is that a G-rated movie?
I'm gonna even fact check.
PG.
It is PG. I thought it was
Mononoke G.
No, that's PG-13.
Something could be headed in that.
So
that's PG-13.
Yeah.
Is it?
I still need to watch all those.
I've seen a few.
Honestly,
I've seen Spirited Away. I've seen Mononoke.
I've seen every movie we just named, plus a handful of other ones over the last year, and Princess Mononoke is my least favorite of all of them.
Oh,
have you seen Howl's Moving Castle yet?
That's my favorite. I haven't seen that one. My favorite one's Paprika.
It's real good.
Yeah.
Is that Studio Ghibli?
No, it's not Studio Ghibli.
Oh.
No, that's so weird.
It's a grown-up one.
What am I talking about?
Yeah. That and Perfect Blue are my favorite too, and the same guy made both of them.
All right, well, back to the movie.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. All right. So
we get this cool anime imagery at the parade.
Yeah, parade.
And we see people that undoubtedly will become images in his dreams later on, since we've established Nemo, in fact, does dream.
He does dream.
Dreamo.
In fact, the NES game is titled Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
The Dreamo.
The Dreamo.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Dreamo.
Nemo the Dreamo.
Nemo the Dreamo. And then when he gets old, he can be Nemo the Creamo, because he's gonna fuck.
Oh, I thought he meant like because he got cremated.
He's gonna
that too.
The princess.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck that bitch. Anyways, before we get ahead of ourselves, so yeah, we got parade, and yes, it is kind of like one of those like, oh, I'm seeing these people, so maybe we'll see them later.
Maybe.
My bad.
And then Nemo gets hungry and tries to steal a fucking pie.
Yeah, which goes back to that trivia bivia from earlier.
It's like, his mom's like, I'm not stupid. You're not sleepwalking. Give me my fucking pie.
Yeah, it's like, oh, where am I? What's happening?
And then his dad comes out and beats him with a hammer.
Dad's in one scene of the movie for like 1 second.
The end?
That's not his dad. That's just his mom's company.
Ooh.
That's just his mom's company.
That's the milkman.
How are you a dad?
I was joking. I was just implying his mom picks up men.
That's why Nemo needs a dream to get away from
that
life.
And that's why Nemo has dreams like this.
Flip's actually the guy that she's currently fucking. She's always smoking cigars.
Hey kid, she's a crackhead. Don't tell your mom about this.
Like putting lit cigars out on the back of his neck.
Hey kid, you keep this between us. I'll get you something nice for Christmas.
Mom banging fucking Jeffrey Epstein.
What?
Jesus.
Just like
I was implying like smoking because he's smoking cigars the whole movie.
Oh my god.
Not what you were thinking of.
Yep. Hanging with Mr. Epstein, rated PG-13.
One here.
No, I was totally saying that. I was turning it around on you.
Ha! Fooled me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again.
I just had a cover ready. So now we're actually Nemo goes back asleep after we see this colorful parade. It's not really much to it, but it looks really nice.
It does look
And-
nice, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a little musical number, which at this point in the movie's fine. This is gonna be a little bit of music, a little bit of salt and pepper.
Yeah, a
and,
little bit of shake in that quake.
Yeah, and it's a kids movie. That's fine. And then he gets to Dream World, which I think Dream World overall is kind of disappointing.
I love it. I think it's designed specifically like that though, because they even when they go to Nightmare Land, spoilers, it's not an exact parallel. Like they're both kind of like the same almost. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just feel like you could have done a lot more with something called Slumberland.
Yeah.
It had to be something with the headbutting that caused it to look the way it did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Because I was thinking the parts I liked most about it were the interiors, like the hallways and stuff.
Yeah,
like, those were very detailed.
Yeah,
but the
And
outside,
I think that they probably started with a lot of the background art that didn't have to move a lot, and that would be the interiors. So that was probably mainly the Japanese artists, and maybe some of the outside stuff was the Americans.
Yeah, specifically, like I remember King Morpheus room ships out to me, and there's like a lot of really nice imagery in that.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah. Morpheus is cool. Reminds me of Matrix.
Yeah.
He's just a kid at heart.
Yeah. I thought he was Santa at first. I'm like, whoa.
I thought he was Zeus.
Yeah. So what's her name? The Little Mermaid's dad?
Triton.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
King Triton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this fly butler looking fuck, Professor Genius shows up.
Professor Butler.
Professor Rene Auberginois.
And he's like, "Yo, Nemo, we're gonna go see the king. We're going to Slumberland, homie." And he's like, "I'll follow you, stranger."
First he's like, "Good." Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
and they got all pissed off.
he's like, Nemo, can you smell this rag for me real quick?
He's like, well, she brought you a present and it's cookies. And he's like, I love girls. I love the princess.
I love cookies.
He's like, I love them.
Sure, I'll come with you.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
He's
the
definitely
princess
got a
is gonna
sweet
feed
tooth.
me.
Well, just name one movie where the kid has not gone with the complete and total stranger.
Um.
Home Alone.
Yeah.
That's it.
What do you mean? He goes with the fucking
Bird lady. That's right. Or the bird lady.
And then the bird lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally homeless people flights.
Shrek.
Well, I'm just thinking to like kids movies. Like Dorothy ends up in Oz, and then she's like, "Sure, I'll hang out with you, Scarecrow Man, Tin Man, Lion Man."
A lion.
Yeah.
Shrek.
Donkey and Shrek. They're both adults.
He's not a child.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
Point
Gingy
proven.
would be a child, I guess.
Well, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't nobody pick Shrek for their favorite G movie?
Because it's PG.
Yeah, for pretty great.
I looked because I like Shrek.
Graham.
Who doesn't like Shrek?
I don't know.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
They should really like. They should really
I know.
Yeah.
But now they're just known as a Shrek band, so I mean, money.
Better than being Smash Mouth.
Now they're known as the fucking. Now they're known as the I'll collect my royalties band as I play at the fucking Big E.
Did they play as a Big E?
Strike every.
That's the level. That's the level they are now. They're on like we play at like fucking town fairs.
Yeah, pretty sure they were at the Big E.
They were
in the last few years. Yeah.
Oh. I remember the Beach Boys were there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
And we
When they were, like,
listened to it at Leo's house.
When they were like 74,
Yeah.
and they didn't have anything better to do.
Like, yeah, we'll go play.
Foreigner was there last year.
Yikes! Woo! Man, times are rough when you're playing at the Big E and you're foreigner.
Yeah.
No near Foreigner.
Yeah.
Didn't Boys Like Girls play there one year?
Yeah, but they suck.
They have that one good song.
Yeah, one good song that was good for teenagers.
Are you calling me a teenager?
Yep. You did pick a kids movie, John.
Yeah.
We got just pick a G-rated
movie.
Yeah, because I had to break it up, yo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
So, a little bit of
Break
salt
it
and
up.
pepper.
And then you snort it.
Yeah. Adderall.
Yeah. So
Back to the movie.
anyways,
Back to the Adderall.
We follow this fly butler fuck into Slumberland.
Butler. His name is Professor Genius.
Yes.
Okay, he's a professor and he's
Jeeves
genius. Jeeves.
It's that Rene Aubergine guy, and I like him, so I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
not
show
really
him some respect.
Yeah,
He's pretty chill.
He passed away last year. This episode is dedicated to Renee and Mickey Rooney.
You can't even say Renee's name right. You're not allowed to do that.
This episode is dedicated to Renee Zellweger
for her career.
So
it's dead.
And for her nose.
Because it's also dead.
It looks weird.
R.I.P.
Well,
yeah, that new nose money.
That Bridget Jones money.
Oh.
Anyways, you were saying, Tyler?
So we got Slumberland.
Yeah.
And Professor Genius Butler guy is like, hey, follow me to the king. And Little Nemo's like, you can eat it. Me and my squirrel are going to go find the king ourselves.
Eat shit.
It's the fucking smarty pants over here.
Yeah.
And he does. They find the king before Mr. Butler guy who knew the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Good for him.
So
he's a strong, independent white man who don't need no other smarter white man.
He knows how to fix trains.
He does know how to fix
Professor
trains.
can't follow a GPS.
Yeah.
Wow, what a
And
genius.
And they're like, we're looking for King Morpheus. And then he's like, I'm King Morpheus.
Check out my train.
You're
Fucking
not
my biceps.
a genius. You're
He's fucking
not
giant.
a genius. Yeah,
he's fucking.
He's a very towering hunk of a man.
Hagrid's my brother.
PS1 Hagrid.
Yeah.
Pretty immediately, he's like, hey, Nemo, you want to be my king? I mean, you want to be my prince?
Yeah, don't say it like that. That
Nemo.
sounds like it's pedophilia.
Because he like smashes his train because he's like a giant person riding a tiny train. And then, like, so Nemo helps him
Yeah,
fix
when they're
it.
on the train, there was something that happens, and I was like, oh, that train could not support the weight of those men.
Yeah.
As if like I'm criticizing like this train in a dream.
Exactly. Like way to break it down.
It looks ridiculous.
It's supposed to.
I was like, come on, that would not support all their weights.
Scientist, and I know.
Where were you at, Professor Genius?
Not fixing trains.
You're definitely not fixing trains.
So this whole thing. Okay, you're gonna be my prince, and then I'm gonna give you this key.
Yeah.
That'll
Why?
happen for no reason. He just does it.
He has a daughter. Like,
yeah, and he's like shows it to the daughter, and she's kind of a dick.
Like, my biggest gripe with this movie is he's just like, this random kid shows up. He's like, all right, you can fix trains. You want to be my prince? Fuck my daughter. Fuck her, dude.
Yeah, he's going to bang her.
Realistically, you can kind of just say, okay, this is Nemo's dream. And he's like, it's going to go. This is how it's going to go. Nemo can do what he wants in his dream, but it doesn't mean like...
Yeah, and we all know
it doesn't mean it's not lazy.
I still
Nemo
felt
hates women, confirmed.
Yeah. From the start of like the whole dream stuff, I still felt like the dream had real consequences. So it really struck me as weird the way he just treated it like, oh yeah, the princess, right? Whatever.
You gotta fuck her?
All meant. I don't think he knows what that is.
What, fucking?
They want you to think.
Yeah, I mean,
they do give him a key, quite phallic.
yeah, exactly. And the key goes in a hole, i.e., he fucking.
It's not supposed. That key's not supposed to go in a hole.
No.
Well, yeah, not the hole that it goes in. That's
The forbidden hole.
the forbidden hole, the fourth hole.
But we get into this sequence where he gives him the key, and he's like, "You could never open the door off that symbol on it." And this is like all like. I'm okay with this movie at this point, and the imagery in that room is super cool. The imagery for the parade's cool, but now this is where the movie starts to lose me a little bit because there's just this dance sequence that just goes on for fucking ever.
I hated this.
Yeah, it just keeps going, and it just like, for no reason, it just keeps going and going. It's like it's a kids movie, whatever. I'll deal with it. And then they go to like train Nemo like immediately after, like how to be a prince, and there's just more fucking dancing the whole time and singing, and it's not good.
No, it's not.
It makes the movie seem 15 minutes longer.
I feel like those are the parts where the Americans are like, we need song and dance.
Yeah,
it's like this is what we know how to draw, right?
I only learned from Walt Disney. There's just nothing to break up this sequence either. Like they're dancing in there, and then like they're singing like on this like I don't know this plane or like this like whatever they're on to like get to like that room in the sky where they train.
Yeah,
and then there's just more singing and dancing, and it just never gets broken up. So it's like literally like 15 minutes straight.
Yeah, I feel like that's where the movie suffers because I feel like because of like what Ryan said, Disney, they were like, we need to shoehorn this unnecessary song and dance bullshit in here, and the movie could have fared without it. Like, look at like a movie like Iron Giant. Like, does that movie have any singing in it? No, and it's great.
Yeah, the robot has a dance number.
He's like, "You got a friend in me."
Oh.
Watership down, no singing.
Oh God,
just suffering.
Yeah, nothing but suffering. But yeah, that's exactly where it lost me too. Like, I didn't even remember there was singing in this movie. Like, because I haven't watched this movie in probably like 25 years.
It's honestly consolidated really to that part, but that part just like that's the part where I was kind of just like, all right, come on, let's get this.
Because it's very much back to back and it's aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like if this were just done by the hands of our friends overseas, then this movie probably would have probably lost that entire sequence and saved that 10 minutes you were talking about, and then just been better quality overall. Like, we probably would have got something that would have been considered in like the high ranks, like maybe something along the lines of with the Miyazaki movie. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was ever in like touching that territory, but I think like
if it wasn't bastardized by Americans, I feel like it could have been a lot better.
I don't know. I think the movie had different goals. I think when they had the Japanese studio, they were probably trying to make like a more mature film.
Yes.
That's something a parents like would have enjoyed, and they were trying to make like a kids movie in America. So that's why you get this is a movie too where I think there would have been a lot deeper if it was Japanese. But this movie, it's like this. They're just doing stuff. Like, this is just for kids, and I don't think there's really a lot to analyze. You know what I mean? And I think they would have had a lot more depth to that if it was the Japanese version.
Yeah, because
even very surface level like symbolism and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. They even like show you it at the end, like on the parade.
Yeah, because like the video game itself, like it's a lot of fun, but it doesn't feel like a kid's game. You know what I mean? Like when I play another Capcom game, which would be like Little Mermaid on the same system, that feels like it's made more for kids. But when I play Dream Master, it feel like it's more for teens than anything, because there's like it's scary imagery in it, kind of. You know, it's a harder game than say like Little Mermaid, which is pretty easy. I can probably beat the game in about 25 minutes, not to brag, but
that's weird flex.
Yeah, it is a weird flex. It is. I could beat ET. I'm just not ever gonna play it again. But like that game, like since it came out coincided with this movie, I feel like that was more of their vision, because America didn't have any input into that game. So I feel like if that would have went more towards what they were going, I've seen the alternate product almost in a way, and I feel like that would have been way cooler, because like even like the stuff in the game, like it looks way better than it does in the movie. Like you were saying, some like the Slumberland stuff looks boring and stuff like that, and same thing with Nightmare World. Like in the game, it looks way better.
It just like slapped together, and they didn't care because it was a kids movie.
Yeah,
I think this movie just had completely different attitudes between studios.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. But at some point when he's like doing this training, he also meets this like the guy that we all thought was going to talk like Danny DeVito. Flip. And Flip is clear, and he doesn't really do anything prominent at the beginning, but you just see wanted posters of him everywhere, so you know that Flip's a bad fella.
Yeah. He's a frightening fella.
He's got a cigar.
He's a fucking rat.
He's a frightening fella.
He's a little bitch.
Yeah.
At some point in this whole conundrum, too, Icarus gets called a rat, and that's like my favorite part. And he gets all butthurt.
He's
He
not
gets
a
all
rat.
butthurt about it.
And then he calls him a rat.
I'm not a fucking rat.
Yeah. I'm Tony Pajamas.
He gets all butthurt.
Llamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets pretty butthurt over that, and he throws a little fit. That part's funny.
Yeah. Love Icarus.
Icarus is pretty chill.
Yeah.
He's a good animal companion.
It's like when he just starts living in the house at some point. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is wild. He's got a flying squirrel that just hangs out everywhere.
I would love
With a
that.
pair of mini aviator goggles on its head.
Yeah, I love it.
It reminded me
You know what made
of Chippendale Rescue Rangers a little bit.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of too. Like, I love that trope. Just they can keep doing that forever. Like little critters with aviator goggles, just keep doing that.
Well, there you go. Now you know what to draw.
Yeah, I know. When I saw this, I'm like, I gotta draw that later.
Gotta draw the critters. All right, so let's move it around.
So, and when he presents the key, he literally says, there's one thing you gotta do. I'm gonna make you a prince. I'm gonna teach you all this stuff. I'm gonna give you this fucking dope key. Just never open the door with this symbol on it. Literally, 20 minutes later, he gets done with his training. He just finds this flip guy that everyone's like, "Hey, don't hang out with this guy." He's like, "Okay," and then Flip he sees the door and goes like, "This is the door they told me not to open."
But aren't you curious to see what's inside?
Literally, all he
what
said,
you gotta.
He literally just goes, "We should open it." It's like, that's it. And the kid just goes, "Oh, I guess a peek wouldn't hurt." Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Nemo sucks.
Oops. All nightmares.
Oops, no backbone.
Nothing bad has happened in this dream world so far. He's like, yeah, it's probably not a big deal. He gave me the key. And he's like, oh, whatever. He's a stupid kid. But also, he likes to open doors and steal shit. He likes to open the fridge and steal pie.
Yeah.
He's a little thief.
He likes to open shit and cause mayhem.
Yeah.
So the real villain of this movie is Nemo.
Pie? Oh,
that too.
It's pie.
Absolutely pie. But Nemo is the actual villain of this movie because if he didn't crack down and open that door, the king would have got captured. You know, the daughter wouldn't have got raped. You know, it would have been
happened.
You don't know that.
Okay.
I'm saying,
Right.
You don't know that.
Well.
Holler if you hear me!
Whoa, slow down there, Chief. Looks like we are entering spoiler territory. If you have not seen this film and would prefer for it not to be spoiled, you may want to consider skipping to the timestamp provided below. Thanks for listening.
After they open this door, they're like, "Let's go hang out with the king again." And the king's like, "Okay, man, look at my fucking scepter. It's cool."
Look at this shit, motherfucker.
Bro, check out my scepter.
For anyone who's played League, it's Jax's light post.
Check out my daughter's rockin' tits.
Bro, check out my scepter.
And then he just starts yelling stuff and just shooting a scepter in the sky. He's like, "Fucking sit, Nemo."
He's like, check it out. You can do this one day if you train hard enough, bro, and get jacked.
You get big and strong like me.
Yeah.
And then it's fucking useless when the nightmare world shows up and it just takes him and his tasty daughter.
It does not taste the tasty daughter just yet, but
And he's like, "Oh,
the fact that you called the child tasty brings up a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So Nightmare shows up and he's like, "Fuck!" And he gets
king.
I don't like the goop.
Does he get
that
the
scene
scepter
is-
now?
He tries to give the king the scepter. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. This scene is really cool. I love how they drew that, like trying to get the king and he's trying to like pull it off of him and stuff.
Yeah.
That was really good.
This is probably the most like Japanese scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, for sure.
That part's very reminiscent of Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, no tentacles.
This is the part I remember, and I think it's because it scared me when I was a kid. It's just like really scary.
It is. It's definitely spooky when a giant black mass just comes out of
Yeah.
a fucking wall and it's just like.
You just can't tell what it is.
Man.
Exactly. It's the mystery of like what it actually is because you don't know. That's like most terrifying. It could be anything.
Yeah, they're like, don't open that door.
Yeah, it could be voiced by Tim Curry. We don't know.
Could be voiced by Tim Allen.
Tim Allen behind the door.
That
would buy some cocaine.
Oh, we don't talk about that here. Tim Allen's a saint. Tim Allen does not do cocaine.
The patron saint of nose candy.
The patron saint of nose candy.
Patron saint of 70 stashes.
I love that fucking mugshot. That is one of my favorite celebrity mugshots of all time.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Love it. He just looks like he's like, ho.
You can tell he tries the product.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
You try, you buy. Anyways, let's keep going.
Yeah, so the king's like gets taken by the nightmare world, and they're like, "Oh shit, let me wake up from my dream."
Yeah.
Then he wakes up,
and when he
and
woke up, I thought he was gonna like have pissed his bed. And then he lifts the sheet up, and I'm like, "No fucking way! He pissed the bed." No, it's the scepter.
It was scepter.
But he wakes up and the scepter's still there, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I'm still in a dream." And this part just made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Did it or did it not?
It didn't. It was fucking stupid. When the movie just like
Inception.
I'm gonna make it seem like I'm not in a dream, but I really am in the dream.
Yeah, Dreamception.
No, dude, that's the equivalent to like me saying, "Wow, podcasting was just a dream," and then I left the room and I came back and said, "I guess podcasting was real," and then continued to podcast.
I don't think that's anything like that.
How is it not? How is it
close.
Not? Is it?
Pretty close.
Like he said, "Oh shit, it's not a dream." Okay, I guess I'll go back to dreaming.
Yeah, it was a transition to Nightmare.
No, it wasn't. He just like respawned, and he showed up in Nightmare Land like way later.
Okay, we're not playing the video game. We're watching the movie.
That's what it felt like. He just like, "Oh fuck this part of the dream. I want to go somewhere else."
But was it all a dream?
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. It was just weird.
Yo, this episode dedicated to Biggie.
And then he goes, but that's when he meets what does he meet? Like the things that look like the Teletubbies. If they look like if the Teletubbies were sloths like living on the side of the road. That's what they would look like.
I think it was like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Like
Winnie the Pooh.
Foreign creatures of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
yeah, like if the Heffalumps lived kind of close to Chernobyl, basically.
Chernobyl. Oh my god.
They're just kind of goopy.
Yeah. They can mish together.
They can. Yeah. Oh god.
But Christopher Robin, I'm afraid of the Heffalumps and Woozles.
For good reason.
Too fucking bad.
100 acres away from Chernobyl.
Oh my god. Hey, I watched Christopher Robin with Ewan McGregor, and I love that movie. I don't give a fuck. I love Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. Is that the one where Pooh's just a fucking dipshit the whole time, and then he gets all sad because Christopher Robin's mean to him?
Yeah. It is. Well, he's a dipshit all the time anyways.
Like an extra, so he lost all his papers. He's like, "I'm sorry, Quiz. Don't get mad at me."
Okay, now you sound like an anime girl. I'm gonna have to stop you there.
You can't pay your bills.
He's gonna get repossessed.
You can't feed your family. I'm sorry. I'm a Pooh Bear. Oh, bother.
See the honey.
Dear. All right, enough of Winnie the Pooh, but anyway.
Yeah. So they basically respawn with these weird sloth-looking things.
Well, okay, that's way farther ahead than... Okay, first of all, he goes back to... his entire house fills with water, and then he ends up back in Slumberland, where he meets Professor Floaty Boy.
Then he's got to get the dream team together.
Yeah, so he gets...
I thought he meant like the sloth things.
Nah, you're getting ahead of yourself. Professor Floaty Pants is on his briefcase, floating on the water. And he's like, hey, I'll get over here. We can get on this bed together, old man. Again, kind of weird.
Yep.
And let's paddle ourselves and go find Flip because Flip is the only one who has a map to Nightmare Land.
Oh yeah, that little fucker. He had a map.
Yeah.
He had a map.
He got a map.
Got a map.
So
Map.
They find Flip.
Who's about to get launched out of a fucking cannon to space.
Yeah, I love that. They're like, his punishment is to get shot out of a fucking cannon.
To
Who knows
space.
where?
They said specifically to space.
Oh, okay. I missed that. I was so fixated on the cannon.
They closed him in there, and he's like, my cigar's still lit.
Yeah.
He's literally being catapulted into space.
Yeah. not the fact that he's about to suffocate because of all the carbon dioxide, but whatever.
I thought they were just shooting him far away. Like, just get out of here.
No, they said we're gonna shoot you to fucking space. Like we're getting rid of you.
We're gonna try to hit Elon's Tesla.
Yeah. That is a fucked up way to be taken out, first of all. Just getting launched into fucking space via a cannonball.
Pretty sweet way to go.
I mean, I would love it.
It's like if the velocity doesn't kill you.
Oh, it 100% would. Yeah, 100%.
You get cooked alive when you try to cross through the atmosphere.
I feel like the initial impact from being shot out of the cannon would have at least broken his spine.
If by some strange chance you survive breaching the atmosphere, you're still gonna suffocate.
Yeah.
You're gonna freeze too.
It's a pretty fucked up way to go, actually. This movie's all lighthearted, and they're like, we're gonna launch a motherfucker to space. For crimes.
So why didn't they launch the Nightmare to space?
I don't know.
You can't launch a nightmare to space.
Yeah, dude. Come
They
on.
tried.
You can only stop it with some
Yeah,
scepter.
you can launch Danny DeVito to space, however.
They should have shot it out like in Duck Hunt when you do the discus, and then they shoot the Nightmare out of the cannon, and the king shoots it with the scepter.
That would have been pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
And it would have made a bunch of cool fireworks, and everyone would have cheered.
Actually, okay. So let's go back in time.
Danny DeVito would have been confetti.
Tomato soup. So yeah, Nemo stops the launching by telling the princess, "Hey, don't launch him. We need him."
They're like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, but then she says, "You are not allowed to smoke cigars anymore. That is your punishment." To which she's like, "Aw, man." So they, by they I mean the princess, Nemo, and Professor Curlybeard, all get on a boat where Flip is now the captain of said boat, and they go to Nightmare Land.
Yeah.
And that's where they meet these weird things.
Yes, now we're at the metamorphing Teletubbies. Yes, who also aren't scary. They actually want to help them out because they have a friend who's actually trapped in the castle who looks like a dog.
Yeah, they get mad when they get called goblins.
Yeah,
and I would be too.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
fuck you. I'm not a goblin.
Yeah, if you ain't a goblin,
no
man.
Fucking goblin.
Anyway, so they arrive on the island, to which the princess, she immediately almost gets captured. Women, am I right? But then he points the scepter at these three, I don't know, fucking creature of the Black Lagoon looking motherfuckers. I don't know what they're called. Maybe those are goblins.
I thought they said they were. Oh yeah.
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 So yeah, that's when he's like, "Wow, this thing kind of works, doesn't it?" So that's kind of like it's a prelude to what's eventually going to happen.
Yeah, you gotta say slam a pajama.
Yeah, slam a pajama, my pajama, jajama.
Slam of the same pajama.
Yeah. Oh god, I can go for some salami. Anyways, so yeah, they meet up with weird Teletubby guys, and then they're like, "Hey, we know exactly where to go. Flips kind of sucks. I don't know why he's here. He kind of sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, his map got ruined when they got in the water, and he was leading you to nowhere. So
he's like trying to draw a fake map.
Yeah, and then then Princess is like, you know what, Flip, you can carry our luggage. That's your punishment. That's your job now." You the bag bitch now. So then, they get on with it. They get on with it. But
Yeah.
not all ends well. It does not, because they in fact get captured.
Die. Oh.
Spoilers.
Ah, they got captured.
They got captured.
And now we're like, now it's up to Nemo.
Little Nemo.
Little Nemo, who's not shown that he was the brightest of the bunch.
He's definitely not.
Flip, who's also not the brightest, kind of sucks.
Kind of Danny DeVito.
And these like weird looking Chernobyl animals that don't seem very useful.
Abominations, you mean?
And we got Icarus.
We got Icarus, the one character
carrying the team.
Carrying the
team.
Team on his wings.
And the scepter.
Well, Nemo's too much of a limpdick to know what to do with it yet.
Well, they also said that if he uses it, it'll kill him.
Yeah, they literally the king says that.
He's like, it's pretty fucking sweet, right? If you use it, you'll die.
It'll cut you wide open. You'll be fucking fat chicks in no time.
Doesn't he get like scared again and like voice up in his bed again?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh God, it was just a dream." And then the decrepit-looking Chernobyl animals come out
with their buddy who is locked in the castle.
They're like, "We found our friend!" And then this like giant Snorlax is now their leader.
He's like, "Oh, thank you!"
Oh, it's like, "Oh God!"
And he looks like a dog. I can't remember what kind of dog it is, but he looks exactly like a dog.
Is it
Schnauzer.
Atreyu from?
Atreyu.
Yeah. First of all, Atreyu was the name of the child.
Okay, whatever. That's why I was asking.
It was Falcor. That was the dog.
The fucking flying dog.
It was Falcor. Hold on, let me push up my glasses real quick while I say this.
You weren't even alive yet.
Neither were you.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not the one who knows his name is Falcor.
Yeah, well, I've seen that movie a lot. I used to watch like literally those movies a lot. I really loved them.
First Ghostbusters.
Atreyu was also a shitty protagonist
and a shitty band. I said it.
Oh yeah.
How about that new Attack song? Am I right?
Yikes.
Yeah, terrible. Anyways, moving right along. So then they go back to Nightmare World to face off against the Nightmare King, who looks like the thing from Fantasia.
Yeah.
Spooky.
It looks like Zorg from fucking Toy Story.
It does kind of look like Zorg, man.
It's Zorg. Like Zorg hung out in the shadows.
He does also kind of look like Aku. Maybe they are all attainable. Right. Maybe they're like distant cousins.
I will give this credit though. This guy looks pretty badass.
Yeah. He does, yeah.
Lame as fuck.
Really? I thought it looked pretty badass.
I would rather just be a faceless entity than this fucking Zerg-looking little bitch.
I personally really like the manta ray.
You know what would have been really great? If they're like, "Where's the Nightmare King?" And Flip pulled out a cigar, lit and said, "I'm the Nightmare King, bitch!"
And then burned them all with a cigar.
Actually, that would have been really good. Actually,
and then he's like, "Sure, you all got lung cancer from secondhand smoke now."
They're really evil.
Says, "I'm the Nightmare King, bitch," and he rips open his shirt, and you see the iconic sweater. He's Freddy Krueger.
There we go. Yeah, see, full circle.
Yep.
All credits.
Yeah. I really like the manta ray thing he has. Actually, that's one of my favorite parts of it's just the only one, and it's just flying around doing manta ray stuff.
It's fucking cut.
It's so my theory is, okay, this is very far fetched, but just follow me on this one. That manta ray is the same one that killed Steve Irwin.
Oh wow!
Because
I have a theory.
It'd be a nightmare to lose Steve Irwin, and we did. So we're living that nightmare.
That's true. I have a theory.
We're in the darkest timeline.
Yeah.
What's your theory?
They had one guy on the animation team that wasn't very good, but he's like, I can draw a manta ray real good, and they just let him do it.
Like, I got this. You guys like manta rays?
Fine, Rick. You can draw a manta ray. And
it can fly.
Sure. They're like, how the fuck did this guy get this job? And he's just kind of there.
And he's like, all right, Rick's a pretty sweet manta ray.
It also reminded me.
Pretty good.
So yeah. Then final battle ensues, which is, boy, is it boring.
Yeah, it's pretty underwhelming.
Yeah. Which is it's like a lot of final battles in like any kids movies. If you think about Aladdin, like it's just like, you want to be a genie, right? And he's like, yeah, all right, be a genie, but you're gonna go in this lamp.
Yeah, you think
bet the
about Big Fat Liar. Crazy.
I bet the Japanese had a really sweet ending, and then they were just like, "We not share it with you.
We not going down."
And the Americans
You can't control this.
And the Americans like, "We got this fucking scepter thing."
What, that a fucking lamppost?
Yeah, the original ending had Nemo sodomizing the Nightmare King with the said scepter and yelling, "Pajama!"
Fuck you, Pearl Harbor.
What? What?
Because it's Japanese.
Yeah, I got it, but what? Okay.
So moving on.
Yeah, so all's well that ends well in the land of Slumberton.
I thought Icarus died, and I was like, "This movie fucking sucks."
Fucking
at that
sucks.
moment. I was so mad. I was like, "This movie."
They can't show death on a G-rated movie.
I was like, "They have no reason to kill Icarus here. Like, there's no like plot device for that to happen."
Yeah.
Enemies are cruel.
Yeah,
Goddamn Japs killing off Icarus.
they didn't though.
It's like you killed Jiraiya in Naruto. I hate you. I'll never
Spoilers.
forgive you. Oh yeah, sorry. Nobody knows who the Jiraiya is, so you'll forget it.
I won't.
Spoiler. Anyways, so yeah, it ends with Nemo and the princess, they're going off on a little love floaty. What is it? The blimp? Is that a blimp?
A love floaty.
I couldn't remember what the name was.
A hot air balloon.
That's a blimp. It's not a hot air balloon.
I don't remember what they were in.
Zeppelin.
It's a Zeppelin. It's a Led Zeppelin.
It's a Zeppelin all the way to the Mile High Club. Hey,
Yay! They about to fuck.
You sick fuck.
Yeah, but it's a dream, so he can do anything he wants in it.
Yeah, let's get past that.
All right. Anyways, DC's aside. So the movie ends with Nemo waking up in his bed. And his mom's like, Mom and Dad are like, "You want to go to the circus?" He's like, "Fuck yeah, I do." Roll credits.
And the whole goddamn movie was about his guilty conscience about trying to take a fucking pie.
Yes, it was.
I'm sorry, Mom. I promise I won't take the pie again.
Yeah.
But
I'll own up to my fox.
what if?
Santa to die.
What if the entire movie is a dream, and when he wakes up, he's still dreaming?
What if
not.
they call Icarus's dream?
Exactly. Could be.
Because
Yes,
he's the only
actually
character I care
squirrel.
about.
Or what if it's
Out of the
actually
window.
it's a king's dream? He's dreaming for his successor.
He's dreaming for a son.
Yeah,
What if it's
because he
about
got a
Professor
daughter.
Genius's dream?
It could be. Could be anyone's dream. It could be Nightmare King's dream.
Yeah, no, it's about the butler, and he's dreaming that he's Professor Genius. He's like, "I'm a professor and a genius.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking butler.
Yeah.
I don't just clean poopy.
The poo poo.
I'm not a fucking janitor in a tux.
I'm a Professor Genius.
I'm Professor Gender.
I was in Pokemon."
What?
Yeah.
All right.
I also just want to point out, yeah, we hear music playing at this point, but Nemo fucking doesn't. And this kid goes to the window and just starts dancing out, like standing outside the window to new music, and that gave me a laugh.
Yeah, that's a good. That's definitely an American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The music in general, I feel, is like anytime there was music put in, it was like, stop.
Yeah, because it was just exposition mostly.
Just stop. Exactly.
Like, it was weird.
Anyways, so that's Finding Little Nemo. Nobody.
Nemo, nobody.
Yeah. Full circle.
Oh, nobody.
So let's get.
Can't remember a fucking thing.
Do we have any final thoughts before we get into ratings tonight?
I'm tapped out.
Animation was impressive.
It's a kid movie.
Yeah. I do like the animation. So let's get right into the ratings. Ryan, why don't you go first?
I mean, taking as it is, I mean, it's a kid's movie, so I can't really judge it that hard. I would say for like it doesn't have like the strongest like moral to it, where it's like, I stole a pie. Oops.
Oops, all pies.
I'll give it a 5.8.
Dope. Tyler.
All right. So, like I said, Ryan said, everyone basically said it's a kids' movie. The animation's really cool, and because it's Japanese, basically, it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to rate something like this because it's not for me. It's clearly for children. I'm sure I showed this to a kid. They probably like it much, but I'm looking at it like I have to sit there and watch it with them. It's a lot of the movie is kind of a mess that the kid would really not notice. But there's way better stuff I'd rather show them in this scenario. So I'm gonna come in, all things considered, at a 5.4.
Dope. Tom.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I basically knew what I was in for going in. But I was very impressed by the animation and a lot of the art, specifically some of the stuff we talked about. The inside of the castle and everything was really well done. Before the Nightmare King becomes the weird guy, when he's just kind of the amorphous thing. I love that. I think it looked really good, especially when the king's trying to fight it off. That was super impressive. So that's what really stood out to me. I like the idea of the dream world and everything, but they didn't totally follow through on all of it. And there were a bunch of plot holes for sure.
Oh yeah.
So I give it a 6 overall, even 6.
All right. Thank you, motherfucker.
Thank you, motherfucker.
Oh, speaking of that, Tyler, did you hear Tom say that when you were grabbing your pizza the other night?
What?
So when you opened the door to grab your pizza and the guy was leaving, Tom in the background said, "Thank you, motherfucker."
I did not hear that.
It was
I don't know why that guy didn't just leave it like every other DoorDash driver.
It was the funniest fucking thing.
Yeah, he was there for a minute too. I opened the door and he scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, he lingered. He was like a fucking fart.
Nice.
Anyways, so I'm gonna go into that. This is the second time I've ever watched this movie. I remembered watching this kid as a child. I've also recently played the video game. Probably about 7 months ago, I played this game, and that's what kind of I remember this movie because I actually forgot it was actually based off a movie. Until I played that game and stuff like that, and I got to the end of it, and I was like, "Where do I know these characters from?" And then I looked it up on Wikipedia, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a movie." I remember liking this movie a lot as a child. Obviously, I'm an adult now. This is probably a movie I'd watch with Aubrey just because, it's not crazy long. It's not crazy bad. She probably really like the singing and stuff that I don't really like in it. The animation is pretty top notch for being a movie made in the 80s, even though it probably has been restored because of HD and all that. I watched it in 1080p, so who knows? If I watched an original VHS cut, it might be a lot different.
There would be grain for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But
Great Midwest.
Having said that, yes, there are problems with this movie, like every kid's movie, because sometimes they forget that adults have to watch these things too. But I don't overall hate it. I'm going to come in at a 6.8. A little high, but it's a nostalgia thing. I'll throw in there a little bit. But also I think animation wise, and if it was just kept to the original idea without the American influence, this probably could have been a way better movie.
I give this a 24.
Whap.
So we give it a 6.
Nice.
Overall.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Which it kind of goes in line with IMDb and stuff. IMDb actually has it rated at 7.7, I think, actually.
It's 7.2, but there's only 6,000 ratings.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough to get a consensus. 6,000 people rated it.
So I'd say the general consensus would probably be around a 6 and 6.5, something like that, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. There's there's movies with way lower ratings that have more of following and acclaim. So
yeah, it's decent movie overall, but a really solid animated kids movie. In opposition to Disney movies.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, if you have kids that you actually like spending time with, I'd recommend watching this movie. It's free on Amazon.
You could show that to any kid, pretty much.
You could do worse, and you could sit there and do worse than watching this.
Yeah,
exactly.
Watch Frozen.
Let it blow.
Shut the fuck up. Anyways, Tyler, you have our pick for next week. What are we watching?
Well, they say for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction.
Okay.
So,
It's
so,
The butterfly effect.
so after reviewing a G-rated kids film, I think it's time for a hard NC-17 adult film.
Oh boy.
This movie comes from a director whose whole body of work I really admire and really is a hidden gem himself. I think all his films would really qualify for this show, except maybe the late couple in his late career, and that, of course, is Mr. David Cronenberg. And next week we will be reviewing the highly controversial 1996 film Crash.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It stars James Spader, Holly Hunter, and Elias Koteas. It's adapted from a novel of the same name, and to give you a little synopsis, after getting into a serious car accident, a TV director discovers an underculture of scarred omnisexual car crash victims who use car accidents and the raw sexual energy they produce to try and rejuvenate his sex life with his wife.
All right. So
I almost watched this a few weeks ago.
This movie's gonna give me a boner, right?
You watched this a few weeks ago?
I almost did.
Yeah, it just came out on Blu-ray last week, so
I was looking up
timing.
Cronenberg movies, and that was on the list. And I saw James Spader and Holly Hunter, and I was like, maybe.
You like me some James Spader?
Yep. So going with the contrast.
So, after watching a kids movie, we're going to go straight into fucking. Interesting. So, tune in next week for Crash, starring James Spader and Holly Hunter.
She won an Oscar. Don't call her that.
That's mean.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
Anyways.
Do you have any movies or shows that you'd recommend based on this movie?
It's really hard to recommend things off of this, like without recommending stuff that probably everyone's seen. I would, if I could make a recommendation, if you want to say animated, anime, I mean, I just watched a movie called The Boy and the Beast for my other podcast, and I would actually 100% recommend that. It's a 2-hour long movie. The animation is top tier. The story was actually very good. I'm going to talk about that more on Saturday on the other thing, but I would definitely recommend that. If I'm going to recommend any animated movie that hasn't been seen, it'd probably be that one.
Cool.
Yeah. It's also got a director who's actually done a lot of anime, too.
Who is?
I don't remember off the top of my head. It's in my notes and stuff like that, but I don't have my notes like readily available, so.
Yeah.
So we will see you all next week for another exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. I've been your host, John, and with me I have Tyler. Tom.
Hola.
Homie.
And Ryan.
Hi.
And we will see you next time, America.